So we've now arrived at what I think of as the end of the hunger gap. And it's ironic really, because in a way I've had loads more food all the way through spring than I've got now on the table. But the difference is most of this is just sown without grow lights, without any heat, without any special pampering or anything like that. Just normal, traditional kind of growing techniques. And that is a big difference, you know. So all of these cauliflowers, for example, these are all just March sown. The calabrese is March sown. You know, the broad beans just sown as normal. I think those were in December. You know, ordinary potatoes just planted in containers in the polytunnel. Carrots popped into containers in October, nothing special, no heat or anything. Peas just planted in the garden straight off, no grow lights or anything like that. Cucumbers just the same. It's all just ordinary stuff. So yeah, this is what everybody does basically. So we're now at that sort of boring stage of gardening for me, when everybody's doing the same thing. But try and keep interested. Get much more interested in extending the season than I do at this time of year. Anyway, turnips. Lovely crop of French beans now. Plenty of those. All of those basically off one container in the greenhouse. Really lovely. Last of my early sugar snap peas. I'm on to, as I said, not early, it's just main crop peas now. Most of these courgettes are just from the greenhouse. Plants just taken straight from the conservatory and popped into pots in the greenhouse. Beetroot from the store, a few beetroot fresh from the ground. Cauliflower off Debbie's plot, just a few sample little herbs there. Bit of spinach, bit of kale. Last, I think, very last of the Crown Prince squashes. But as I said, months and months and months ago, I would have plentiful summer squashes by the time we ran out of winter squash, so that is true. Calabrese, as I said, middle of March, sown that. It's looking pretty good, got loads of it coming. Penultimate harvest of the Savoys, the early Savoys, and the first harvest of the red cabbage. So that is looking gorgeous. Really pleased with that. That is a good weight of red cabbage there, and yeah, really happy with a mid-September sowing for those. Just pop them in the polytunnel, plant them out in February, and looking lovely. So these are the first, no, not the first, probably second week of harvesting the overwintered onions. And these are not a traditional overwintered onion. I think these are a mix of Lilia and North Holland Blood Red. They probably wouldn't make it to August. They probably go to seed, but they're fine at this time of year, harvested nice and small. And these haven't actually gone to seed, so they're lovely. Forgive all that noise outside, we've got the roofers in. And these are, as I say, the first of my new season carrots, so they're looking quite good. Really looking forward to having those in the salads. Broad beans, little tiny potatoes. As I said last week, I'm not happy with the potatoes. I'm going to be interested to see what happens when I start harvesting Charlottes. These are jazzy. They're far too small. I mean, they're lovely, but they're small. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. That's just from one container though, so it's not a bad harvest for this time of year. New season peas, these are going into salads. These are looking lovely. Mange too. Just a few of the shallots that I harvested earlier in the week. They're so small, I'm not going to try and store them. I'm just going to use them over the next few months. Celery, salad onions, and yeah, nice harvest of cucumbers. Some big ones, some little ones. I much prefer the little ones. They are incredibly crunchy and lovely, but that's the kind of size of cucumber that I like to eat each day. So these are the outside strawberries. All of my early strawberries finished now. These are the first of the tumblers that I sowed, what was it, back in March, I think. And these are the early ones. The early ones are still kicking out a lot of fruits, but they're smaller just because of the volume, really. There's just masses and masses and masses of them on every plant, whereas the tumblers, there's a much more modest number, and so they're a bit bigger. These are not quite as sweet as these at the moment. And that's it. And so then just plentiful salad bases. I'm going to make up those salads now, as always, and then I'm done. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.